So it has just had legs that have just gone on and on. It's quite amazing to me.
Have you ever heard from someone like in Hollywood, just like someone we know that is like of, a third generation or a second generation that comes up to you and is just like, you're a Fresh Prince fan. Like I would never expect this person to have watched and they can quote things and you're like, wow, this is
I get that a lot as I move about. There are a lot of people who stop me, and I don't wear makeup all the time. I don't look like Aunt Viv most of my life. I'm a regular girl, and I put on makeup for you, baby. But
well, that's nice of you because I mean, that's more than you needed to do for me, but thank you.
but I get stopped and said, "You sound like Aunt Vivian." I'm going, "Oh, yeah, because I am." And people get startled sometimes to see a physical person who's come off the television set. And I still get it with young teenagers. So I know we're in our third generation.
Wow. Having this reunion in 2020, we know Will Smith's a big movie star and all this blah blah, but like is there, I mean, would you guys ever do like maybe a movie, maybe a Fresh Prince movie with all of you originals? Like has there ever been any talk like that?
We cannot recapture what we had. We are happy to participate in anything he wants us to participate in. We all have lives that have gone on to other things and to other projects. Um, I had the pleasure of being the first of the old guard to be on the new Bel-Air. And it was myself and the woman who played Will's mother on the original show, Renee Watson. And we had a blast. And it felt wonderful to be greeted by this young cast that was so vibrant. And it's such a good show. It's so well written and it's cinematic and the characters are so well rounded and you get to see more of each of our characters because an hour you have time to do that. You don't have time in a half hour to deal with the challenge du jour in everybody's opinion, and 22 minutes is up. But here in Bel-Air, you get to see where the character came from, what you get to learn more about the actual person rather than just moving through the set. Oh yeah, that's Aunt Viv. It's a cool show.
And it is a cool show. And how, if you think about it, brilliant to take this and not redo it, but make it now a drama for an
Yes.
hour. And it's the exact same story, but it's not a comedy. And it's
No.
just, it's a brilliant
Oh well.
idea. Brilliant, right?
Yes. And that I attribute to Will. He saw a little clip of a little movie that the young man had made for YouTube or something. And he said, now that's a good idea. And he made it so.
And to do it in 2022, with all the different world, it's just such a like wow.
Brilliant.
Why haven't any, this is, come on, like this is so smart.
That's brilliant.
It is
He's a
brilliant.
brilliant young man.
Did any part of you have a reservation when you heard it was being redone? Just like, did you feel protective of, no,
He
just
told
totally?
us. He told us at the reunion. He introduced us to the young man that he made the deal with, the creator. And we just said, let us know how you'd like us to be involved. And he said, you will be involved.
And it was so much fun with your little camp. Well, there might be more cameos coming.
Perhaps. Yeah, the new season is starting probably. They're going to start shooting this summer, I guess.
Did you hear from Cassandra Freeman, the woman who plays Aunt Viv, the actress, like before she undertook the role, or she just was like, let me make this my own? And
I met her when I went to do the guest star. And I mean, I had seen her work because I got to see a couple of episodes before I went, and she was so beautiful and so glamorous and so, I, I just adore her. So when I met her, I said, "You are Aunt Viv 3.0." And she said, "I love it." And we've been in touch ever since.
Wow. 3.0 is good. Before we move on, at the reunion, when you guys, that was the first time. Is this true? That was the first time you ever met Janet Hubert, like
Yeah,
ever? Wow.
ever, ever.
What was
I
that
had
like? Or it
seen
just,
her once, but had not met her. It was, I felt like she belonged there. We were having a reunion of a show that she initiated. And I was so glad that they got through whatever contention they had. I was very happy to meet her and was very humbled to be number two. So when I saw her, I just threw my arms around her and said, "Welcome home." I was glad she was back into the fold.
what did you think of this sit down? Like, I mean, you must have watched it. I mean, we all watched it.
We watched it during the taping of the reunion.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was very brave of Will. I thought it was very compassionate of Janet. Um, I I'm glad they aired and their apologies and move on. Life's too short.
It was very real. That's what I thought. I was like,
It was very real.
you,
And you could see that Will was a little uncomfortable, but he was proceeding with what he knew he needed to do.
yeah. And really, you didn't need to do this on camera. I mean, like, I understand the trailer and, all the fodder that goes, but you really didn't need to. So, to that point, that's pretty real, right? Like, let's let people just see this.
He is trying very much to be open and upfront and honest and present.
I love it. Well, what people probably don't know about you is that you're an avid photographer, and maybe they do, but that is your other passion. And I have to say, you're a traveler. I've traveled to 55 countries in all 7 continents before this little thing known as COVID. So, how did photography become such a passion of yours?
Oh, I've had a camera since I was a little girl. My father was an amateur photographer. He took pictures of us all the time. I have so many pictures from the 40s and 50s and 60s because my dad was a shutterbug. I have always had a camera and I've always taken pictures, and I love to travel and had the opportunity to do a lot of travel, and realized after years, it wasn't until I was 60 years old that I decided that I was going to be a photographic artist. And it was on the encouragement of two of my friends who were always saying, "Where have you been? Show us the pictures, show us the pictures." And I show them the pictures and say, "Well, you should put this in a gallery." And I'm going, "Nah, no, you got to be an artist to do that." And they said, "What's the question here?" So that was one of my bravest moments, was putting my work in a gallery. And I realized going through my pictures that I had taken pictures of doors, a lot of pictures of doors. And I realized that they represent to me a metaphor for life. They represent opportunity and curiosity and adventure. And because of my interior design and architecture background, I'm drawn to details of architecture. So I like the colors and I like the craftsmanship, and I like to see what nature has done to the door and make you wonder what's behind the door, and make you also, what I realized I was trying to show people that they need to notice the details on their journey because it makes your journey very rich. So I took these pictures, I hung a gallery show, I got a good reception, and people were buying art off the wall. And then the recession hit, the 2008 recession, and ooh, it was ugly. I said,